Today I'm going to show you how to install an SSL certificate onto your website. So here's a website that I have. It's bestdiplomaprep.com, and if we go to a site that uses SSL certificate, it has this HTTPS. We can see that my certificate's expired. So if we proceed anyways, you can see that we get this ugly red slash through it, so it doesn't look very good. So we have to reinstall our certificate. So the reason why you have certificates in the first place is it makes your site more secure. People can't access data without you. It restricts the access of data and usually need it on sites that take payments. So I made this little text document here that we're going to work through, and we'll be able to hopefully get our certificate installed without too much trouble. Okay, so right now I'm logged into my server, and if we go to etc-apache2, we can see how we have our virtual hosts set up. So if we go sites available, you can see here it's set up just like we have. Okay, so let's just go back a step. Let's go to our ports.config, and we want to add this listen 443 HTTP in here. That's gonna tell it to look on the 443 port, which is usually used for SSL. Okay, for the next thing, we want to look at our virtual hosts. So that's in this sites enabled and sites available. So this is our sites available that we have. So we have our virtual host that has port 80, and below here we have our 443 with these special ones: SSL engine, certificate file, certificate key file, and chain file. So you want to have both of those, and then when you're ready to do that, what you would do is you would say sudo a2en site, and then whatever it's called. So in this case it's best diploma prep. And if you want to delete it, you go sudo a2en site best diploma prep, or whatever it's called. So you could have these files, you could have one just for your port 80 and one for your 443. So if you wanted to separate just your normal, how a website normally appears without this green thing, or if you wanted to have it with it, you could have it in two different files. I don't know if that makes sense or not. It doesn't matter. We have ours just in one. Okay, so now we're ready to finally start, being that that's all set up. So there's a couple important files here. First, there's the .key. So this is the file that's created from us from our OpenSSL that we have installed. This .crt is the file that's emailed to us from our SSL provider. This .key is the one we got from typing it into our SSL, which is what we're going to do right away. And this intermediate CRT is the one that we download from just the internet for our SSL provider. So right now I'm going to look at my website and I'm going to say reissue it. Okay. So I have OpenSSL and I need to enter my CSR code. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to log in with PuTTY here. And I'm going to log in as root first. And if I go visudo, V-I-S-U-D-O, and I scroll down, you can see that I added another user called Brian, and I gave him all the permissions that root has. Okay, so I'm going to close out of here, and I'm going to log in as Brian. This is giving me a place so that I can save my folder to. You're going to see that in a second. Okay, so now we're logged in. So now we can create our key. So we're going to copy this line and paste it in. Okay, so enter a passphrase that you want to use. Oops. Enter it again. Okay, so that worked. So now if we come here and we go to home and we click in Brian and we click refresh, we can see it made this .key file. And it's just a text file, or I guess it's a .key, but it just has a whole bunch of random letters and stuff in it. That's what it looks like. Okay, now we're going to do the next line here to make our .csr file. Okay, so enter the passphrase. Okay, so I live in Canada, Alberta, Edmonton, put the name of your company or whatever. Oops, I should have done that one. So I'm gonna go here for a second. I'm gonna refresh. I'm gonna delete this .csr. So this shouldn't be .key, this should be .csr. That's right. Okay, so let's do that last line again. Okay, and then in this line, this common name, you enter your full domain with the www. bestdiplomaprep.com. Your email. I don't need a challenge password, so that's okay. And now it should be done. Okay, so if I go up here, it says it wants this CSR that we made. So if I open it up, I'm going to take it, I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to paste it in here, and I'm going to go next. Okay, next. Submit order. And we'll see if this works or not. Okay, so it looks like it worked. So let's go to our inbox. And we see we got an email from. So it said, you're receiving this email. So we have to review our order here. So if we review it, oh, this looks right. You say, yeah, that's correct. So it knows the certificate's good. Okay. And if we go back to our inbox, they sent us another email now saying that now it's good, and this time it has the certificate that we want in it. So let's click on here. Okay, so this is the new certificate that we're going to want. So let's open up this whole thing. Okay, we'll copy that, put this into a new document here, and we're going to delete out all the blank spaces here that we don't need. Okay, and we're going to save that to our desktop, and we're going to call it, that is going to be our .crt file. So file, save as, desktop. Okay, so that's our .crt file, and we have our .key file here already. Okay, so let's go back to our instructions here. So we have to go to etc-apache2, and I made this SSL file here that's in these steps here. So you create this SSL file and you can change permissions to it to 640. So I did that already. So if we open it up, we can see these are all the files that we have. So I'm going to go ahead and delete these. Okay, so let's just refresh and see what we have. Okay, so there's nothing in here right now. So I'm going to drag in my .crt file, and I'm going to go home, Brian, and I'm going to take my .key file that we made from before, and I'm going to drag it into here. Okay, and the last one we need is this intermediate.crt file, and that comes from your service, wherever you get your SSL certificate from. It should probably say in the email. If you want this intermediate certificate, you have to click on it and choose what you have. So I have this one. I'm using Apache. So I'm going to call it intermediate.crt, and I'm going to save it to my desktop. Okay, now that's done, I'm going to drag it in, and that should be all of them. So now when we go up to here, when we check our virtual host, we have to make sure that everything's going to match up. So let's go to etc-apache2. Let's go sites enabled, or no, let's go sites available, bestdiplomaprep.com, and if we scroll down all the way, we can see we have our SSL engine on. Our SSL certificate file is this .crt, so that's this one here. Our key file is our .key, and our certificate chain file is our intermediate.crt. So all those look okay. So we'll go here, and that looks pretty good. So we're gonna go sudo a2 en site, or let's go sudo a2 dissite. You know, okay, I'm gonna just log out of here for a sec, and I'm just gonna log in as root, so I don't have to type in my password every time. Okay, so I'm going to go sudo a2 dissite, and I'm going to go best diploma prep. So what this is going to do, it's going to delete this site enabled right now, which is best diploma prep. So if I go like that, and I go refresh, we can see that it's gone. So now if I want to put my new one in, I'm going to go sudo a2 en site best diploma prep. Okay, I'm gonna go sudo service apache2 restart. Okay, so it needs to decrypt our passphrase, so we type in our password, and it said okay. So that looks pretty good. So if we go to our website now, and we go to our other page here, let's go to it. I'll try another browser here and see what it gets. Okay, so it looks to have worked on this one. So I think let's close it here. Let's close everything, and we'll open up Chrome again, and we'll try it. And look, now we have it secured. So that's all it took to do that. It's kind of confusing to make sure you have all these files correctly, but once you get it, it should always stay the same. So hopefully you found this tutorial helpful. If you have any questions, let me know, and hopefully I can help you. There's a lot of good reading that you can do that they send you in the email. If you look here, anyways, they send you lots of helpful information in the email that outline how to install it, but a video is always an easier way to see what's going on. So thank you very much for watching, and good luck installing your own certificate.